Savannah O'Gwyn from Savannahland 2. I'm on a kick of using up my stash, and I've literally made 4 more cards using pattern papers that are at least 2 years old since last week's video. So today I'm continuing my Sav Challenges. I might see about trying to make a Sav Challenge creation at least once a month. I'll keep you posted. Now I had a design for this card today, but it just didn't work out like I wanted it to. So instead of being clean and simple, my card ends up being more detailed. And you might notice that this video takes, well, a super long time for me to get my design together. Even with an idea in my head, it took over 45 minutes to get the papers glued down. I did a lot of video editing for this video today. I also wanted to create a special birthday card for Kim as Paper Smooches celebrates their 4th birthday. Long story short, this card was perfect. Great colors, great design, but it's not a birthday themed card, I don't think. The sentiment just doesn't work, I don't know. So I think I might have to make her a different one. Now don't forget to stop by the Paper Smooches blog for your chance to win a $50 gift certificate to the store. The deadline for the giveaway is Friday, February 9th. So as you can see, I'm literally just messing around with my papers, my stamps and sentiments that I want to use, and I finally laid down my card base and I'm cutting out some panels for the center of my card. Now I really like these pattern papers. They're from My Mind's Eye, A Mother's Love. No joke, probably got them 2 years ago. I just couldn't cut into them. I'm not sure if you're like me, but they're just so beautiful I couldn't cut into them. Until today. And I wanted to use a couple of different stamp sets. I'm using 2 new releases from February. Graceful Beauties, that's the butterfly, and then I'm also using a die set from Religious Words that's just released, and that is probably one of my favorite new releases from Kim. Love it so much. So I'm just working around with the sentiment. It's going to say, have a blessed day. Now that's why I don't know if it's really a birthday card. I always wish everybody a blessed day, and especially on their birthday. I always give the scripture, Psalm 118:24, but I just don't know if this is going to work for a birthday card, so we'll see. But I still want to use this as a card design. Anyway, long story short, I was messing around with my card design and just decided to fussy cut out my butterfly, and then I didn't like it, so as I was trying to remove it from the card, it flipped over, and I love the color of the cardstock more than I do the stamped image. So I'm going to use the back side of that stamp. And then I was messing around with the center panels and I said they need a little bit more detail. And I started to distress the edges of one, and then I had to think a little bit more because I was thinking that was too much detail. And at that point I said, whatever. This card is no longer clean and simple. So I'm going to distress both panels. And okay, this is the highlight of the video, everybody. If you've watched my videos, you know I cannot work with twine or thread as much as I love to. But this time, I'm not kidding. Wrapped the thread around my fingers 2 times, stapled it behind the butterfly, and it was perfect. Okay, it wasn't really perfect. I had to move it maybe twice, but no joke. It didn't take me more than a minute to get that together. I am becoming a thread pro. I know that sounds weird for all of those who don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway. So here I'm just testing out a couple of different inks. I thought I'd stamp right on the pattern paper, but I do not like that. So I pull out some vellum, tore it a couple of different times because I didn't like how it looked. And then I decide what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to just, well, I'm not really sure. I was going to staple it on, but I'm thinking about it. And as I was cleaning up my area, right there, you just saw my hands go like, ah! I lost a stamp, but it was on the acrylic block. So that's what happens when you think too much. You forget what's going on. And I decide that I don't like the torn edge and I want to just use a straight edge, but what I'm going to do is sew the vellum on. I know, lots of details here. So I'm cleaning off the area and I pull out my sewing machine, and no joke, just a stitch that's 3.5 in length, stitched it a couple of times, and that really made the card pop. So I pull out my little embellishment that I made earlier, and I have to think. What am I going to do? Now this I highly suggest. This is a tip I would give to anybody. Test your stamps out on the vellum with the ink you're going to use before you stamp on your project. I have learned a lesson from my past mistakes. I end up loving what I've got. I add my embellishment using a little bit of glue and a foam dot. I place it down, and then I think to myself, did I place it in the correct spot? Because this die-cut sediment is a bit bigger than I thought it was, but ends up being all right because I can move the die-cut sediment, you know, depending on where my stamped word ends up being. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue down my sediment a little bit higher than I want. And I have to say, probably 10 minutes of my video had to be me gluing this down because the glue wouldn't come out. This is a brand new Tombow Mono multi-purpose glue. Or is it multi-purpose? Whatever. Liquid glue, and it just would not come out of the bottle. So, editing there as well. And then I stamp my sediment, and that literally is the end of the card. No joke. So 45 minutes to design it, stitch it on, glue down my word, stamp the sediment. Technically this could be a Travis card style. No, I don't know. It just took too long. I hope that you will join in my challenges with me. Use 1, 2, or all 3 of my challenges for your next creation. Please leave a comment below with a link to one of your creations or link up to our Inspired by Virtual Smooches post. I'd love to check out your project. I also hope that you have a blessed day, just like my card says. Thanks so much for watching.